Hello everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today, I thought I'd make a tips video to try and help you guys out from the experience that I've gained over the years of racing no assists. So, I'm going to start off with turning off the racing line because personally that was the hardest for me back in the day to learn. So what I'm going to be doing today then is going into Baku Time Trial. I thought it would be a good track to use, quite a few heavy braking zones, and see just how the game tells you to take the track compared to what you should actually be doing. So we're just going to put on the top time trial setup, put on the racing line, and just see what we can do. Start off with, and then afterwards, I'm going to show you how to actually improve and eventually help you turn off the racing line altogether. So I have my personal best lap time as a reference to see just how much slower the racing line is. And as you could tell by the turns 1 and 2, we're already down by so much because the racing line tells you to brake so early compared to what you're actually supposed to do. And another problem with the racing line is that it doesn't really tell you how much track to use. For example, coming up to this next left-hander, you'll see that you can really go out far to the right to open up the left-hander, but the racing line doesn't really tell you to do that. So that's another problem with it, as well as telling you to brake too early. And for example, through this corner, you can cut the curb a lot, but the racing line doesn't really tell you to do that, and we lose bags of time. Again, through this corner, it tells you not to go over that curb. So hopefully you can start to see that it can cost you quite a lot of time if you're following it directly. We're about to come up to another good example of a corner now. This downhill left-hander, the racing line doesn't even tell you to touch the curb, whereas in reality, to get the maximum lap time, you need to jump over that curb. You need to pretty much corner cut it. But obviously the game is not going to tell you to do that. So we're going to complete our first lap around 2 seconds down. And yeah, obviously there's going to be people who can go very fast while using the racing line. I mean, as an example, Louis, as you might know him, probably one of the fastest pad users on the game, if not the fastest, used line for ages, and I believe he's only recently took it off. So you can definitely be really quick with line, but you just don't want to be relying on it if you want to be a top driver. So 2.5 seconds off the pace is obviously not the maximum that we can do, but hopefully you can definitely see that it's a lot slower. And we do one more lap just to see. Oh well, it was a few laps, but yeah, we gained about a second, I believe it was. But I think we're done with this. We just want to turn it off, and I just want to show you like how much faster you can go when you can brake later, just use all the track, and just use your own lines. So moving on to our first lap then with no lines. Pay attention to the lines I use, where I'm braking, how much track I'm using, and instantly through turn 1, we stay all the way over to the right, open up the turn 1 properly, and use all the curb on the exit. And again through turn 2, sticking all the way over to the right, and we're actually up on our previous best. So you can probably tell instantly just how much time you can gain. And then again, on the exit of this corner of turn 3, you'll see we're using all the track end as close as you can to the curb, and look how much time we're just gaining there. So again, this track is a perfect example. Once again, using all the track on the right to open up this left-hander, and well, that's a pretty terrible line, but you can see where I'm coming from. And into this next corner is another great example, but we actually brake too late there, but just ignore that. But you can take a lot more curb than that and gain a lot of time compared to what the racing line tells you to. Again, that curb going into castle section, you can take a lot more than what the game says. And yeah, I mean, we're not being our previous best, but you can just see how much time we gain compared to having the racing line on. And this is probably one of the best examples. The racing line definitely doesn't tell you to do that. So coming to the end of our first run with no line, obviously not the greatest of laps, but a 37.4 instantly way faster than what we could do with racing line. So hope I'm just further proving to you the wonders of no racing line, what you can do on your own once you just learn it. And by now you're probably thinking, okay, this is all well and good, but how do we actually learn to take off the racing line and improve and go faster than what we can do with racing line. So what we're going to do is then we're going to go into a track that I've barely done on this game. I think maybe not even done at all, which is Russia. What we're going to be doing is picking a braking point at every corner and just adjust slightly. So turn 1 we brake at the 100-meter board, and as you can tell it's a little bit too deep for, so simply next lap all we're going to do is brake just before the 100-meter board, and this is literally what you do for every single corner. So we're going to be braking just after the shadow, and we go a little bit deep, miss the apex slightly, so we'll just brake directly on the shadow next lap. Again, braking just past the curb, and that's too early again, so we'll brake a little bit later. And hopefully you can see that I have not done this track before. I'm not going very fast, and we actually turned in way too early there, so that's something we can improve on for next lap. Adjust, brake in, well that was just a mess, wasn't it? Braking way too early for that corner. So, and we just keep adjusting until eventually you find a really good place to brake every single lap and it's consistent. Again, braking too late coming into the third sector, so we'll brake earlier next lap. And yeah, that's literally it. The most important thing when doing this is to not give up, not get frustrated. You might find that you are braking early one lap and then you try and adjust and you end up braking too late and stuff like that, but trust me, you will get it. You just need to make sure that and this is really important, so that you just practice. You know, it's all well and good watching tips videos, and you could watch thousands of them, but if you don't put it into practice and try it yourself and make mistakes and learn from them, then it's never going to work and you're never going to properly improve. So you can instantly see in the second lap there we gain 2/10 just from braking a little bit earlier, but we still have loads of time to find in that corner. And again, we're going to be braking at the shadow, and look, we're starting to get the braking points right already. I will say that I have a little bit of an advantage, and will adapt quicker than maybe some of you guys, because I used no line for Russia last game, and the braking and turning points are fairly similar. They're not identical, which is why I'm still making quite a lot of mistakes, but I have a rough idea, which is why I'm getting used to it quite quickly, and I'm gaining, you know, a lot of time. So yeah, just put your mind to it and you can definitely do it. And so what I'm going to do is, now that I've showed you actually how to improve, I'm going to do a few laps, because right now I am very far off the pace, but I'm going to put in a few laps, learn exactly where to brake, and yeah, I'll leave you with a lap, not a world record lap, but a fairly quick lap that I've done after just learning the whole track. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something from it. I'm going to say this one more time, just keep practicing, keep doing this, and I promise you will get it eventually. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.